So hello and welcome to the another series of the PortSwigger Lab. And today we are going to be starting up with the SQL Injection Labs and its contents. So as you already know that we have completed with the API testing part, and now our next topic will be SQL injections. So let's start up with our new section of the SQL injection. So our goal for this SQL injection will be to complete each lab in one video, and there are 18 labs in the SQL injection part. So we'll be covering up all the 18 labs in the videos one by one, and you can find all the videos in the SQL injection playlist, which I'll be putting up in the description as well, so you can check it out there. So let's start. Uh, SQL injection. In this section, we'll explain what SQL injection is and how to find and exploit different type of SQLI vulnerabilities and how to prevent SQLI. So here is a very good diagram which we can see. So if you analyze this diagram here, so there is a submit button which goes here, and we have written the query in the submit here. So select name description from products where category is equal to gifts. Union, select username, password from the users. So here it has given one query which is still the gifts, and then union with the select username and password from the user. So it will go here, and this after the submission will go here in the backend. It will process, and all the password and username will be uh, given from will be passed on as a output to the hacker here, and that's how the SQLI is exploited. So this is a very good brief, and this diagram gives a very good brief of how SQLIs are exploited in the backend as well. When you submit the query in the front end, it will go in the backend, it will get processed, and you will see the result in your computer. So uh, about the labs, if you're familiar with the basic concept behind the SQLI vulnerabilities and want to practice exploiting them, so this basically says that if you know all the SQLI vulnerabilities already, you can go here on this link and you can practice the labs. So what is the SQL injection? SQL injection or SQLI is a web security vulnerability that allows an attacker to interfere with the queries that an application makes to its database. So as we have seen here, so the request which is made to the database is exploited by the attacker, and they will get the results. They will retrieve the data which is not normally able to retrieve by anyone else. So this might include data that belongs to other users, or any other data that the application can access. So in many cases, an attacker can modify or delete this data, causing persistent changes to the application's content or behavior. So in some situations, an attacker can escalate a SQL injection attack to compromise the underlying server or other backend infrastructure. It can also enable them to perform denial of service attacks. So here the SQL injection is very crucial, and it is actually really found in most of the bug bounties also nowadays. And it is something that which is not patched in most of the systems, as of the new updates coming, new databases are created, new queries are used by the attackers every day. So this actually like can compromise the underlying server or the backend infrastructure, and also enable them to perform the denial of service attack, which can affect the availability of the websites, availability of the applications, and it can cause millions of dollars of loss to the company, and the users, loss of users as well. And what is the impact of a successful SQL injection attack? So a successful SQL injection attack can result in unauthorized access to sensitive data such as passwords, credit card details, personal user information, and so these three are very important. If you have someone's credit card details, you can use them to buy things of the internet, and it is actually done when in the data leaks, data breaches, where the databases of the credit card details are leaked online and are sold in the dark web. So you must be aware about your credit card details. You must be aware about your wherever you have used your credit card details, and you must be checking regularly online that if your credit card details are not leaked by in any data breach. So next is SQL injections. Injection attack have been used in many high-profile data breaches over the years. These have caused reputational damage and regulatory fines. In some cases, an attacker can obtain a persistent backdoor into an organization system, leading to a long-term compromise that can go unnoticed for an extended period. So, as it is written here, that you as an attacker can also gain persistent access. You can persistent backdoor into the organization system, and you can, like, as an attacker, you can get the data from the company's backend system from for a long time, and it can go unnoticed as well. So how to detect the SQL injection vulnerabilities? You can detect SQL injection manually using a systematic set of tests against every entry point in the application. To do this, you would typically submit the single quote character, which is like this, and look for the errors and other anomalies, and some SQL specific syntax that evaluates to the base original value of the entry point and to a different value, and look for the systematic differences in the application response. Boolean conditions such as or 1 equal to 1 or 1 equal to 2, and look for differences in the application's response. And payloads designed to trigger time delays when executed within a SQL query, and look for differences in the time taken to respond. OAST payloads uh, designed to trigger an out-of-band network interaction when executed with an SQL query, and monitor any resulting interactions. So, to give a summary to you about this is basically you try different. So the test can be done manually to find the injection vulnerabilities, and what you can do is to you can try different types of the queries of the SQL specific syntaxes, and you can look for the application response to get the idea of how it will react, and SQL injection in different parts of the query. So most SQL injection vulnerabilities occurs within the where clause of a select query. Most experienced testers are familiar with this type of SQL injection. However, SQL injection vulnerabilities can occur at any location within the query, and within different query types. Some other common locations where SQL injection arises are in the update statement, in the insert statement, in the select statement, and the select statement within the order by clause. So this is one thing which we have to not remember, but will be getting familiar with, because we'll be solving the labs, and uh, it will be used by us. So we'll get familiar to it. So few example of the SQL injection are there are a lot of SQL injection vulnerabilities, attacks, and techniques that occur in different situations. So some common SQL injection example include retrieving the hidden data, where you can modify an SQL query to return additional results, subverting application logic, where you can change the query to interfere with the application's logic, union attack, where you can retrieve data from different database tables, and blind SQL injection, where the result of the query you control are not written in the application response. So we'll be doing these kind of attacks uh, further ahead in the uh, labs. Here you can see on the side as well, on the sidebar, that we have union attacks, blind SQL injection, and different kind of labs are there. So it will be very fun. Just follow along with the playlist. And retrieving hidden data, imagine a shopping application that displays product in the different categories. When the user clicks on gift category, they browser requests the URL, and this is the URL here, category is equals to gift, where this causes the application to make a SQL query to retrieve details of the relevant product from the database. So this will be the query which will be run in the backend by the application by default. Select star from products, where category is equals to gifts and release is equals to 1. So if we check what it is, so all details is equals to star. Select all details from the products, which is the table, category is the gift, and release is 1. So the restriction release equals to 1 is being used to hide the product that are not being released. So we could assume for unreleased product, which is release equals to 0. So the application does not implement any defenses against the SQL injection attacks. This means an attacker can construct the following attack. For example, product, category, gift, and uh, we can use the single quotes, so it will uh, drop the commands ahead. So this results in SQL query select star from products, where gift it is gift, and uh, this, and release is equals to 1. So what is the difference? We'll check what is the difference ahead. So crucially note that double double dash is a comment indicator in SQL, and this means that rest of the query is interpreted as comment. So now you can see that as I told you earlier, that this will drop the commands ahead. This is the comment. Now after this quote, the comment starts, and this will all be marked as comment, so it will not be executed. And so the query does not no longer includes the and release equals to 1. So now you can use the attack, like you can use a similar attack to cause application to display all the products in any category, including categories that they don't know about. So what we can do is category is gifts, and plus plus or plus 1 equal to 1. So the result in the SQL query will be uh, till here it is the same, then or plus or 1 equal to 1, and ahead will be the comments again. So uh, the modified query returns all the items where either the category is gifts or 1 is equal to 1. As 1 is equals to 1 is always true, the query returns all items. So there's a warning here. Take care when injecting the condition or 1 equal to 1 in SQL query. Uh, even if it appears to be harmless in the context you are injecting into, it's common for applications to use the data from a single request in multiple different queries. If a condition reaches an update or delete statement, for example, it can result in accidental loss of data. So we'll have to be careful while using or 1 equal to 1 in SQL queries, as it can update or delete the data as well. So for now, it should not be something we have to worry about. But ahead, while testing the applications, we'll have to be worried about this thing. That's why there's a warning here. So what we'll do is we'll solve this lab here. So uh, this lab contains SQL injection vulnerability in the product category filter, where when the user selects a category, the application carries out SQL query like this. The select star from products where category is equal to gifts and release equal to 1. To solve the lab, perform an SQL injection attack that causes the application to display one or more unreleased products. So we have already seen an example before for this. So now we'll access the lab, and I'll see you soon. So now, as you can see that we have accessed the lab. So we have two ways to solve this lab. We can use the burp suite, either the burp suite to change the category parameter here, or we can do it here. So my recommendation would be to use the burp suite because it is uh, easier to send the request to the repeater and use the trial and error methods to find out the answer for the query. But as this lab is not very hard to do, I anyways have burp suite open with me, so I'll show you how you can do it with the burp suite as well. But first of all, I'll show it to you how you can do it here also. So as you can see, if I go to the category here, but our goal is to get the uh, hidden data from the gifts and like the product category filter. So we to get the category filter, to exploit the category filter, we have to use any of the category filters here out there, and we have selected the gifts here, and we'll go to the URL, we'll type plus or plus 1 equal to 1. So what it will do is it will uh, it will execute our query here. So as you can see here, we didn't get any output because I think there is a problem with our query here. What we used is we didn't use the single quotes and the comment dashes here. Now if we use this and if we go down, we can see the products from all the categories here, and you can see our lab is solved. But how can we solve the same lab in the verb suite? So I'll connect to my Foxy proxy. Okay, so I have connected to my Foxy proxy with the verb suite, and I'll access this here. So as I can see, I have accessed this URL. What I'll do is I'll send it to the repeater, and so the thing which I was telling to you is this only. As you can see, there's a filter here. We can modify this request in the the category, and the category says gifts. So I'll first of all use the wrong query just to just to teach you how the verb suite is better than changing the request in the URL. So we'll use plus or plus 1 equal to 1, the same query which we use, which didn't work well. So here you can see I sent the request, and as I can see, I have the filters, I have the gifts, I have this query here executed, but I don't have any of the products right here. And I know my query is wrong. So what I'll do is I'll modify this query to the correct one, and I'll send it again. And you can see the response here. I'll scroll it down, and you can see that we have a lot of products here, the product ID, the products. And so now as we know that our query is all right, We can just copy this query from here. We can go to our uh, we can go to or we can do like we can go to our proxy here. We can just modify the request here as well, and we can just send it. We can just forward the request, and you can see it in your browser that your request will be forwarded, and you will see the result as you wanted. So I'll disconnect my Foxy proxy so that okay, we'll forward the request again, and I'll turn off the intercept. We'll disconnect the Foxy proxy. And yes, you can see that we can see all the results, and we have successfully exploited the SQL injection vulnerability in this lab. So as you can see that we have successfully exploited the SQL injection vulnerability in the where clause allowing retrieval of hidden data. We have already retrieved the hidden data which the website was not willing to show us in the with the use of the gift here, but we have used our own query of the single quotes or one equals to one means that it's a or query. There are two queries like or and. So and is like the absolute query, either this or this, uh, like either this and this. But gift is like either this or this. But this is like one equals to one is equals to always true. And we have used the comment query here, comment dashes, so that it comments out all the further queries. It will show us all the items here in the list without. So we have successfully exploited the filter and the categories, and also this we have completed this lab. So this was all for this particular video, and we have already solved our first lab. So this is a good start. We'll be continuing with the other lab in the next video. So see you soon. Thank you so much for watching.